Hello, everyone. This is Bill Apter, and I just finished taping an episode of Count It Out with Mike and Tyler, or Tyler and Mike. They're brilliant hosts. You've got to listen. You've got to see. Count It Out. Yeah, I endorse it. They've got the After Chat seal of approval.
It's Jonah Williams from the Cincinnati Bengals, and I want to give a shout out to the Count It Out podcast.
Well, we are live, pals, and welcome to a celebratory edition of Count It Out with Mike and Tyler. Conspicuous by his absence is Mike, and I need to mention, as always, the Bill Apter sealed of approved Mike and Tyler. I'm wearing a Cincinnati Bengals jersey today because we are one game away from the Super Bowl. And my guests over here, one of them put a tuxedo on. He's so damn excited for it. Before we get to him, though, that guy, I want to introduce Jeremy. Thank you for coming on and joining us. Jeremy, what's up, brother?
I'm tired. I'm doing this late. I love y'all. And I love wrestling. That's it.
Welcome to Count It Out, buddy. It is a Monday night at 11 o'clock. I'm drinking my Cottage Springs because I started a diet and I can't drink rye right now. And the man in the tuxedo, he dusted it off. It's been 7-8 months since he put it on. It's his 2 years in the making. Most of you know him as Rewind Recap Relive, but the real fans know him as The Mind. We got Jonah over here, fresh off the Miasma Citadel. What's up, Jonah?
What's going on? Yeah, I got stuck there for like 7 months. Bit odd that you've been keeping track of how long I haven't put on a tuxedo, Tyler, if I have to say, because it's been exactly 7 months. I think that's a little strange.
I'm
He's
honored.
like a wrestler who doesn't make any of his own moves and features on everyone else's thing.
100%. I just float around in my tux every once in a while. They're like, hey, it's that guy with the bow tie. But no, I'm very happy to be here. I've known you and Mike and the Mike and Tyler Counted Out Bill Apter seal of approved show for 2 years now and haven't gone on once. So this is a big night. Rumble has come and gone multiple times, and here we are tonight with the Tux, with my good man Jeremy. I'd call him honorary co-host if I did the show anymore. I will eventually, but he's there and the tuxedo's there in spirit. Well, and we're ready to get the Rumble going.
We're trying to get Jeremy. We're going to poach him from you and give him a show on Count It Out if he wants it. All right. Jeremy's the hottest free agent in the podcasting world right now.
Yes.
All the League of Extraordinary Podcasters are fighting over him. So I think I'm still a part of that. At least I'm pretty sure I am.
You know what's funny? I think I am too. And I don't have a podcast at the moment.
Well, either way, I want to give
retirement.
Want to give love to all the boys in the league, and I want to give a shout out to Mike. Mike is being a good dad today, staying his son is not feeling well, so he is being dad. He might do a run in. It's Royal Rumble season. It could be a surprise entrance. Maybe I've got some surprise entrance for you guys as well, right? Who knows? Talk about the show a little bit. Talk about the show a little bit here. We are going to be counting down the top 7 Royal Rumble performances. So when I say performances, I mean it is by an individual in one Rumble match. So it's not like Kane is the most eliminated of all time. So it's going to be like Kane in 2001 setting a Rumble record. Like it's going to be like that. You know what I mean? So your individual performance in a single Rumble match. But before we get to that, I want to talk about the Royal Rumble itself. It is coming up. It is this Saturday. And we got a pretty decent card. Are you guys excited for the Rumble this year?
I am really excited. I'm psyched for it. Jeremy, actually, we usually watch them together, and I think we were talking about it numerous times now. It's definitely shaping up to be the most exciting Rumble card overall. The Rumbles, I think last year, everyone was on the same page, and it was pretty unpredictable, like who was heading into it, the winner of the actual Rumble or Rumbles. But this year, it's still unpredictable, but something about the card just screams can't miss. And to me, it's probably the Beast. For me, that's my thing. Everyone out there in the podcast sphere, in our sphere, knows that the Beast is my guy. I can't wait for Lesnar and Lashley. But I also am very excited and intrigued, more so by the women's Rumble than anything. The fact that Knockouts champ Mickie James is in it is baffling to me. We haven't and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think we've seen interpromotional Rumble things since they did something with New Japan in like the 90s Rumbles, right?
Yeah, 94. Carlos Colon was in 94 from Puerto Rico as well. Great Kabuki was. And that's kind of like a cool thing about the Royal Rumble. It's the surprises and surprise entrances, if you will. And I have a surprise entrance for us right now, gentlemen. I got a surprise entrance in the Royal Rumble. We got John Cena, number 30, the Prodigy, Anthony from Classic Match Classroom.
A little surprise, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. I can't even. Hold on.
They did not tell us about this.
I did not tell you guys about this. I literally told Anthony about it 4 seconds before Jonah buzzed into the room today. This is an official Royal Rumble surprise.
Number 30 is here, ladies and gentlemen.
I actually have goosebumps from this. You know, Jeremy and I just watched Rumble 08 when Cena came out at 30. I think this beats it. I really do.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
And you're just in time. We're about to start breaking down the Royal Rumble. And I'm going to start with Jeremy. I want to talk about Seth freaking Rollins and Roman Reigns. What's going to happen here, man?
So what's going to happen is they're going to have a banger of a match like they always do. And Seth Rollins is going to lose to the tribal chief. Acknowledge it. I mean, honestly, I want to say more than that, but there isn't that much. I feel like there isn't really that much to say about it outside. It's going to be a great match. Maybe the match of the night, depending on if the Rumbles are like any good, which they should be. So yeah, that's all about that. Honestly, I'm mostly paying attention on the Rumbles, like the actual Rumble matches. Those are the most intriguing parts, but it's going to be a fun match. And, you know, it's always interesting when former Shield members get together to make some magic, you know?
Absolutely. Are we all kind of on the same page with that? Anthony, what's your take on that?
Well, first of all, now that I have the floor and my mic is actually working, I want to say hello to everybody. It's great to be here. Tyler, congrats on the Bengals. I see you rocking the jersey.
Uncle Joey.
Good to finally see the tuxedo again. Good to see you for a change, Jeremy. It's good
for the Rumble.
As far as the Rumble is concerned, so Roman and Seth, looking forward to the match. I am actually kind of on the fence, but I think I'm going to have to go with Rollins on this one.
Ooh.
Yeah, just to change it up a little bit, because I still think that there's unfinished business with Brock and Roman. So I think they'll do a little... I hate it, but they'll probably do the title title swap with
so bad.
I know it's awful, but like I could see them doing that. And I don't know if we want to get too crazy with picks. I don't know what your format on this was, Tyler, although there's never a fucking format with this show.
Count it out. I drink. We just let it fly, buddy.
But so they're talking about a forbidden door, right? The forbidden door. There's a male entrant. We already got Mickie James in on the women's side. For me, if I'm open to any forbidden door guy coming in, you have Rollins win the title at Royal Rumble.
I know.
Bring out Jon Moxley at number 30.
It ain't happening, boys.
It's not going to happen, but like we get a triple threat. Shield triple threat at WrestleMania. You know, you got the on SmackDown last week, Rollins is mentioning Mox. You know, Pat McAfee is mentioning Moxley. He's in the video package. I don't know. I think they might be aiming at somewhere. Of course, it's WWE's probably not, but like, who knows? Maybe we could see Moxley there. But for the match itself, I'm gonna have to go with Rollins to make things interesting.
All right, we'll get into the actual Rumble match there in a second.
Yeah.
I'm anxious now.
Hey, he's coming in. He's coming in on fire. The number 30 entrance. He's coming in and clearing house.
Coming in hot. Where's Triple H?
He's coming in. He's coming in on something. Anthony, you've been drinking yourself? Did Tyler send you some stuff? Or?
No, just a little water. That's all it is. You can't even.
That's all it is. No, you were just really passionate. I was feeling it there. No, I love your I love your pick. I love that you're here in general. Yeah, I mean, you said great. You got James up your sleeve next.
No, that's it. I'm out of entrance. Nobody else likes me. my own co-host doesn't even like me enough to show up today. So
Got the good friends
honestly,
that are enemies coming in. Like,
yeah,
who
that's
else
it.
we got?
coming in as a tag team entrant. I think Anthony's pick is great that he just said there. I mean, to keep it interesting, I want to believe Rollins will win, especially based off the history they keep going on. But Reigns really pulled the card when he said, like, he's talking about, oh, I love Reigns cutting promos. It's the greatest thing. I know it's old news at this point. Every promo he cuts is great. But when he said he's talking about the past, I was like, yeah, like he really is talking about the past at this point. This is a different Roman Reigns. This is a different guy we've ever seen before. And I really do think he's going to squash Rollins. Not squash, but destroy him. Pretty
I'm
much.
happy you said
it's
that.
going to be a great match. But
I'm happy you said that because it segues into what the point I want to make is, we've seen this match before, but it doesn't feel like it. These guys are both so different, with Rollins doing his kooky, whatever the fuck thing he's doing and Roman being the tribal chief. I'm excited for this match. Jeremy said it right. These guys are going to hit a home run. I think Roman's going to take it down. And I'm going to give my take on why I think Roman's going to take it down later. I want to quickly just go through these next two, and I'll group them together because I think they're just fun mid-card matches, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on them. We got the mixed tag match with Edge and Beth Phoenix against Miz and Maurice, as well as Becky Lynch and Doudrop or whatever the fuck they're calling her. Jonah, we'll start with you on this one. Just real quick on these ones. Where are we going with these two?
What a great start for me. I think with Doudrop and Becky Lynch, we already know, right? Becky's taking it. But I will say, like, I like Doudrop. I was going to say, Doudrop took a while to grow on me, but I just heard her cut a promo. And let me try to remember who's in the ring. It was the beginning of this past, what's tonight? Monday. Oh, so last week's Raw. Hey, none of us watched, I guess. Last Monday, there was, it was Doudrop, Becky Lynch, anyone else know who I'm talking about was in the ring?
Bianca
there?
and Liv.
Bianca and Liv. Yeah, Bianca and Liv. And the most entertaining one I thought in the ring cutting a promo was actually Doudrop. Like, she was really great. And everyone knows she's a talented wrestler, right? Piper Niven. So, of course, I think it's going to be a good match. Becky Lynch is obviously winning. But the fact Doudrop's getting a Royal Rumble title match spot on the main card, like that's, I mean, at least we hope it's the main card, right? Probably will be. So I think Becky's taking it. As far as the mixed tag though, now here's my thing with that, because Edge is in it. Love Edge. I think Miz and Edge's match was interesting. It wasn't, and it was definitely the lowest match caliber wise that Edge has had since he's been back. But we love the nostalgia of someone like Edge and Miz going after it. I love seeing Maurice and Beth go after it too. And so the people in the match I like, but to bring it home, I know Edge and Beth are going to take it unless they're trying to hype this up to Mania, which God, please no. Can we please end this that night and shape Edge up for whatever killer match he's going to put on at Mania? But I think it's going to be interesting because Edge is in, and I think Edge is a really creative wrestler overall. And I think that he's able to turn whatever they give him into gold. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm not going to be disappointed. I don't think that. And if anything, if in this stellar card, that's the only bathroom break, I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to do a spin-off question here, and I'll come back to you to get your answer, Jonah, because I want to get real quick responses to these other guys too on the first question. Was it a waste to bring Edge back for this Miz feud? Should we keep him special and just not have him here for a couple months? And who do you guys see Edge with at WrestleMania? Before we get to those answers, let's go Jeremy here. What do you think on these matches real quick?
Real quick, I think they're going to be, I think the Edge I think the mixed tag match is going to be fine. I don't know if it's really going to impress me all that much, because just the regular match between Edge and Miz didn't impress me all that much. It was fine, and that's all it needs to be. Mm-hmm. I think Becky Lynch versus Doudrop, I think that could be a potential sleeper, for the night. They're both very talented in the ring. It just depends if the chemistry is right.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. And Anthony, I'll take your take real quick on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all kind of in agreement that Becky's going to win. I think there's a lot more you could do with her at Mania than you could do with Doudrop. Even though, like Jonah said, she is growing on me a little bit. As far as the mixed tag match, I'm gonna have to go with Edge and Beth on this one. I'm surprised that they didn't hold off until Mania, simply because I feel like this is a match that Edge and Beth definitely wanted to have, just a mixed tag match together now that they're, married and everything. But I feel like doing this and getting it out of the way so that Edge has a better opponent for Mania, definitely something that a lot of us would rather see. So I think putting this Miz and Maurice stuff behind us and ending it here is the way to go.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 1,000% with that. I think this is the perfect place for it. I'm happy they're not doing it at Mania. I think Edge and Beth will win this one. Maurice can take the pin to keep the Miz, whatever. Not that it matters. The Miz has got the Jericho.
I agree. Keep the Miz, whatever.
not that it matters, because the Miz can lose and it doesn't matter. He's got the Jericho syndrome as far as I'm concerned. He just knows how to stay over until it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Becky obviously is going to win, but I think this is the perfect match for Doudrop here. I think this the Royal Rumble title matches are more likely, more often than not, placeholder matches, because Becky's not going to not be the champ going into Mania. But what a great opportunity to see what Doudrop really is all about here. Putting her in this spot where nobody thinks she's going to win. All she needs to do is have a good performance, and she's going to be the winner in this match, right?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I've been a fan of Doudrop before she was even Piper Niven, back in the days when she was Viper back in the ICW. Mm-hmm. So I've been rooting for her. A lot of people were like, oh, Doudrop is in the name and in her character and all that. But I feel like I've been quietly in her corner for a while. So I'm very excited for her to be in this spot and excited to see what she can do. Awesome.
And then real quick before we move on here, guys, one word answer. Who do you want to see Edge fight at WrestleMania? Jonah, I'm coming to you first.
AJ Styles.
Okay, Jeremy?
AJ Styles.
Anthony?
AJ Styles.
That is 4 for 4. We're all on the same page here. I want to see Edge and AJ so bad. I hope that happens. And another match that I want to see so bad. I'm really excited for this one. We got the World Championship here. Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley.
That's mine right there.
That's your boy, Jonah, and I'm going to make you wait. I'm going to make you wait to talk about this one. All
right, peace out, guys. It's been fun.
Jonah's out, taking the tuxedo off right now. The bow tie is coming down. Anthony, let's start with you on this one. Where are we going with Brock and Bobby?
Dream match. I'm just happy that this is happening.
Cowboy
kind
Brock,
of
right?
Yeah, right. I kind of with my prediction before, I feel like they're still going to find a way to do that belt swap, and there's no way that they're going to walk into Mania without Brock holding at least some type of title, be it the Universal or the WWE. I think we'll have a really good match. I think this is a match that Lashley's been dying for ever since he came back. So it's about time. I would rather have seen it at Mania, but it's about time that we're getting at some point. So Royal Rumble seems to be the perfect time to do it. But I'll give it to Brock here. I think it's the right call for where we're going. But either guy wins, it's going to be a great match. But I think Brock's the right call.
Okay. All right, Jonah. I made you wait long enough. What do you want? What do you got?
I mean, Brock Lesnar's winning. There's no doubt in my mind. But it's going to be a hell of a match. It's going to be, I think, if I had to even predict the time, I'd say that 10 to 12 minute banger that we've seen Lesnar put on in the past, it's going to be really impactful. I'd compare it to his match with Samoa Joe, probably, where, you go back and you watch and you're like, I forgot this was that good. Because that's me sometimes with that match whenever I see clips pop up. But it's a match, obviously Lashley's been dying for it, and the story writes itself, and the fact that Brock's just always been really one step ahead, whether it be UFC versus Bellator or world champion to Lashley's ECW, 2.0 champion or whatever. So it's going to be incredible. Both guys are really, I still say, I've been saying Lesnar's in his prime for a lot of years now, but what we've seen with him right now with this character, if you encompass the character and how much fun he seems to be having, and still his freakish athleticism in the ring, I think we're going to see a hell of a match with both guys in their prime, and it's going to be exciting. I'm honestly almost looking forward to that more than the Rumbles themselves.
Ooh.
I don't want to steal Jeremy. Well, I won't even say it. Jeremy had an interesting prediction. I don't even know if he remembers. He told me on the phone a couple weeks ago, maybe. But if Lesnar does lose, what may happen? Do you know what I'm talking about, Jeremy? Because I won't steal it if you do.
Call. You could spout it out. Honestly,
This ties into Rumble. I'll say it real quick. I believe Jeremy said that, let's say we start with Lashley and Lesnar to open the show, which I could see them doing that with so many big matches on the card. Lashley actually wins. Lesnar then enters and wins the Royal Rumble, faces Reigns at Mania. Jeremy, I remember quoting him. He said, "I hate it," and then I immediately said, "I love that idea."
That was actually exactly what I was going to say. I swear on my life, that's my prediction. I think Bobby Lashley wins. I think Bobby, and I think Bobby Lashley wins this match, and I do think Brock Lesnar will go on to win the Royal Rumble.
That's your actual prediction?
I'm furious. I'm furious that you just said that because now I'm just second fiddle.
Jeremy said it. Don't
you couldn't have just let it go, eh, Jonah?
So do I steal the prediction next, or what goes on now?
We'll give Jeremy. Jeremy, what's going on in this match here?
Oh, word. Okay, so first of all, I am praying to the wrestling gods that your prediction doesn't happen. Because I want someone. I mean, I wouldn't be too super unopposed to Lesnar winning the Rumble, but I'd rather have it be something else. But also, I don't care about Lashley, especially as champion.
They've dropped the ball with them right now.
Honest, and with this match, I think it's going to be really fun. And that's more just because he's going up against Lesnar. Lashley really doesn't really do it for me. And I don't know, man. I think Lesnar's going to win. I hope Lesnar's going to win because I don't know what Lashley will really do as champion. I guess he'll maybe face Big E. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that. Big E, obviously, I guess we're jumping in. We'll jump in the men's Royal Rumble match right now then. Big E has got to be out the top of the list of some of the favorites if it's not Lesnar.
He's a favorite, but I hate the idea of somebody just, sorry to interrupt, but I just hate the idea of somebody just winning and just losing the belt, winning it with Money in the Bank, losing it, then winning the Rumble and getting it. Like, it's just, I feel like it's too much too soon, you know.
I wasn't buying Big E as the champion, guys, and I know that might be an unpopular take here, and it's nothing to do with. I love Big E. I think that he is highly entertaining. I think he's fantastic in the ring. He just doesn't scream to me face of the company, world champion, WrestleMania main event. I just, he's a upper mid carder at solid hand that you want to, have in your company forever, but not. I'm not putting them on my posters,
Right. Absolutely. I mean, you look at it like I predicted Seth Rollins to win the Universal title. If they do the swap for him to be the WWE champion, you go in with Big E versus Seth Rollins at Mania. Like,
and we've seen it on Raw 1,000 times. Like,
exactly.
It's WrestleMania. This is my beef. I'm going to rant for a second
fair.
here, guys. It's WrestleMania. Give me a WrestleMania feeling. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mike and I were just kind of talking, and I'll do a little spoiler for the weeks coming up on the show here. We're going to kind of start looking at the top 7 WrestleManias of all time. And for me, my criteria of that is I need something that feels special. And Big E and Seth Rollins doesn't feel special to me. Brock Lesnar and Roman, it feels special to me right now because these guys are the best 2 guys in the company. What are we thinking here? Royal Rumble winners. Does anyone think a guy like Kevin Owens or Drew McIntyre is coming out on top here? Are we looking at a Brock Lesnar? Are we looking at a John Moxley? Jeremy, what's happening in the Royal Rumble?
It's funny because for the longest, it's funny because if not for, I would say before he became champion with Orton, my pick would be Riddle to win this Rumble. But they were champion for so long, and I was like, oh, they're probably going to do something with them at Mania. But he just dropped it, so it's like, maybe. But I do still think they're going to do Orton versus Riddle at Mania. So overall for the winner, Yeah, probably. Yeah, it has to be Biggie or Lesnar. I'm hoping it's someone different though. Honestly, part of me hopes it's AJ Styles, and I know everyone is like AJ versus Edge. That's like the money match. But if it's AJ, if AJ goes for the world title at Mania instead of that, I will be like, okay, I'm patient. I can wait for AJ versus Edge. I will take an AJ WrestleMania moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any day of the week.
Let me put this scenario to the table here, and then we'll go to Anthony for his Rumble pick. What if AJ wins the Rumble and Bobby Lashley wins the world title and drops it in Elimination Chamber to Edge, and AJ and Edge fight for the world title at WrestleMania?
That would be so perfect.
Okay, well, that means it's not going to happen because we clearly like that.
It's too many moving parts, I feel. Like, this is like the Attitude Era where they were just like, oh, let's give this dude's going to win the title at Rumble. But we want Rock versus Stone Cold, so The Rock's going to win it at No Way Out or whatever. And then they're going to
funny.
I don't see either Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley being the world champion going into WrestleMania. I don't see either one of them being the champion. Wow. I don't think either one of them are going to be the champ going into WrestleMania. I think we're going to get Roman and Brock for the Universal title, and that world title, man. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but I'm gonna hope that it's AJ Styles. If Brock Lesnar doesn't win the Royal Rumble, I'm gonna hope that it's AJ Styles and Edge somehow for the world title at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a money match. They just need to somehow get it off of the. And the thing is, it's not like, oh, get it off of Bobby Lashley. It's like, get it off of Lesnar, who might be the most entertaining champion I've seen in years right now. So
sure.
I don't know why or how they would do that convincingly.
Anthony, who's winning the Royal Rumble?
Oof. So I agree with all of your points about the. Especially Tyler of, it's WrestleMania, needs to feel big. Well, my prediction, although I agree with you, completely contradicts that because although I don't really necessarily want it to happen, I feel in my gut, right at the bottom of my gut, two predictions that could really throw a wrench in the whole thing because it doesn't feel like there's a strong candidate right now. Well, actually three. Number one, Drew McIntyre could pull out a number 30 Cena.
I forgot about him.
Drew McIntyre.
Who's Drew McIntyre?
Is that the guy from those toothpaste commercials they're doing now? Or the WWE toothpaste?
Is that guy that fought the guy that hangs out with Sheamus that I don't know the name of? That guy?
That guy who hangs out with Sheamus.
As far as someone who could probably has a better chance of winning it, he's probably the guy. They've been holding him off of TV. I don't know if he's actually injured to the point where he's going to miss the Rumble or if he can slide in at number 30, because then you could even do Roman and Drew at WrestleMania, and I wouldn't mind it because that seems like a money match right there. So that's number one. Number two, it makes sense because there's a reason, there has to be a reason that Vince has been on TV with him. I feel like Austin Theory has a chance, and it could be a bullshit type of finish, but maybe there's no reason why Vince McMahon has been off of TV for years, and now all of a sudden he's back with Austin Theory. There's got to be something there. So that's number two.
Do you guys think that Vince knows that he's on TV? He's pretty out there right now. Also, that prediction, we got to give a shout out.
Triple H is just like, sit here and talk to him. We're not telling. Don't worry about it.
Oh man. Okay, and then number three. If you thought Austin Theory was weird, here we go. They've been hyping him up for months. And it's almost become a meme at this point.
Stop it.
Listen, to the point where there is not a single winner right now that we could agree on. That makes me think that even WWE doesn't know who's winning this fucking Rumble.
No, they don't
to
know
the
yet.
point where if they're in a last minute decision, I could see them giving it to Veer. I could see him making he could make his debut and get. Hey, look, Just wait. You
Veer.
think that's the weirdest thing that they could pull out? Veer winning the Royal Rumble is totally in the realm of possibility.
Anthony,
With everything that's been going on, they've been memeing the shit out of him. Watch.
If we were
Just
on the
watch.
classic match class and right now, you would get an F for that one.
And you know what? I would take that F. I would
I'm
take that
happy,
detention.
right?
Honestly, I'm standing by it.
And that's
Is
at-
definitely in the realm.
That's at
Veer.
CM
Veer.
Classroom,
Not
not
to be
CM Punk,
confused with
right?
CM
Anthony?
Punk.
You know how many people love that, by the way?
No,
Everybody loves
Really?
that. Yeah,
Nice.
People pop for that all the time.
That's
What,
awesome.
when you plug it?
Yeah.
That's
CM
hilarious.
Classroom, not to be confused with CM Punk. It's the only way I remember the social media
That's
handles of my
actually
own
really
fucking
good.
podcast, man.
That's really good. I'm not gonna lie. If Veer wins, if Veer shows up in that stupid like DraftKings percentage pool, I'm gonna die. Like if it's just like 1% of people
Hit
think
it.
Veer is winning
Anthony's
the Rumble.
Anthony's gonna put his life savings down on it.
I might have to after this reception. Fuck. Oh,
I've got my
man.
bed sheet out that says if Veer wins, we riot. Ready? Okay.
Veer wins, we
I
riot.
will say, I do think Veer is going to make his debut in the Rumble though, and put it and eliminate like 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah,
then-
give him the Rusev.
We'll have
Remember
a
when they did that with
Rusev.
Rusev
Yeah.
the one year?
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Yeah, Veer-
fair.
Veer
but I
will
think
be
he'll
here.
win it. I think he'll go the mile.
All right.
Veer and Roman at Mania.
The Cottage
Okay, let me
Springs are
take the
kicking.
floor here.
Yeah, the
Take
Cottage
the floor.
Springs are kicking in. So who hasn't had their prediction yet?
Yeah. Okay, so my prediction, and listen, I really think he has a shot at taking this entire thing home. Why is he in it if not Johnny Knoxville? Who agrees that Johnny Knoxville?
Veer
No, I'm
sounds
kidding.
pretty
Johnny
reasonable
Knoxville
now,
versus
doesn't it?
Veer at
motherfuckers?
WrestleMania. Book it now.
Johnny Knoxville and Veer, but no, I think Knoxville's gonna have a really fun spot, and you know, I love the Jackass movies.
Yeah,
I think
me
it should
too.
be Steve-O, but whatever.
Well,
Um,
Steve-O won't get booked again after laughing after Umaga. You ever hear him talk about
There-
that? By the
yeah,
way?
yeah. Oh, definitely.
He's like,
I love hearing
pissed
it
at
from-
me.
That guy was pissed. Umaga like slammed him, so he
Fucking
got a
beat the
concussion.
fuck out of him. Yeah.
Yeah. If Veer is anything like Umaga, by the way, because I feel like they're just going with the whole savagery gimmick with him. I won't mind it if he's actually good. But sliding away from Veer and
Wait.
Knoxville
Before you
is-
slide from Veer, can I just interrupt as the old person?
Why?
Here? Dude, I'm the
Okay.
old person here. I was actually alive when Umaga debuted. I don't know if you guys were not. But I remember when Umaga debuted the night after WrestleMania 22, because I was in my 20s at this point, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And it turned out to be awesome. So maybe Veer can be awesome too.
That's
positive
fair.
spin.
Hey,
Positive
I like
spin.
hearing that.
Back
right?
to the bow tie.
It's good to get ancient history once in a while.
Yeah.
So no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Stiff.
Stiff.
Now I know why it's
So-
been 2 years since you've been on the show.
This is my debut, technically. So I think if I had to pick someone, okay, so heading into it, the fact that we're all scratching our heads, which by the way, I respect they've still been able to get us scratch our heads now for like 2 or 3 years. It's been pretty unpredictable who's actually winning the Rumble match itself, because it seems like pieces are in place to have a really good WrestleMania already. And it's almost like, why are they even doing the Rumble? Of course, nobody asked that question because it's fucking awesome. That's why we're doing it. But still at the point, it's like, who's taking it home to actually use that opportunity? Nobody. Nobody's going to use this as like as a catapult. Anyone who uses this is purely going to use it as like a ticket to say, I'm involved in the main event. So I think it could easily be Drew McIntyre, because that's all he needs and everything else is convincing enough. He's Drew McIntyre. So if he goes into the main event, could see it easily. My pick to win the Rumble, just because he doesn't have one yet, and I think it would be perfect, is AJ Styles, but I want him against Edge. So one of you guys mentioned something earlier. I think Tyler, when you were just going through the names, Kevin Owens would be really cool to win a Rumble. And I'm not the biggest Owens guy. Yeah, I'm not the biggest Owens guy, but I really think him getting a Rumble win is deserved. I do. And him just randomly pulling it out for no reason whatsoever. Like he's in a good spot right now. I think he'll be facing Damian Priest actually, but still, if they don't go down that road, which I just got a sidetrack with this because I thought this was so funny. Did anyone catch the promo between Owens and Damian Priest it was Priest and who the hell was he talking to? Edge. And you know how they've been doing that whole mean streak with Priest? Like, what, you know, he goes crazy. seeing the mean streak is one thing, but hearing a guy try to describe it it was like Festus trying to describe his catatonic state to somebody. It was the fun. He was like, yeah, Edge. And they probably told him, like, I don't know, do something with Edge. It was totally scripted, but he's like, I just have this mean side that I can't control that comes out of me. And I'm like, this is so lame. Like, why are you explaining your mean side? But
emo teen drama.
Nobody understands me, Edge.
Twilight. Oh my god.
Jonah,
100%.
you said something there, and I want to ask the
I
guy.
said a lot of stuff.
You did, but you said something that really stuck with me here. You said, good for the WWE for keeping us guessing the last couple of years. Is it good on the WWE or is it bad on the WWE because we don't have believable superstars?
I personally think it's good because I love that the Rumble stays unpredictable.
I love it as a fan.
And I love it as a fan. I think there are a lot of believable guys who could take this home. They just are in spots right now that wouldn't really make sense to me to take it home because they have other stuff. Like, I think Styles is really believable. I really think Owens is a better example though, because Styles, we know his history. Owens, I mean, he's homegrown pretty much WWE, not counting, I mean, his illustrious indie career aside, his WWE career he's done some incredible things. And I mean, they've really built him into a believable star in my eyes to easily win the Rumble, go to Mania and take it. And I don't
see that with Owens. I don't see anyone.
About perception.
Like, I don't see people paying money for Kevin Owens to be a main event player the way they booked him. Not talent-wise. Kevin Owens is a main event player, and I've watched that guy. I'm Canadian. I've watched his career, man. You know what I mean?
Hey guys, come on.
I was at the very first Ring of Honor show in Canada where he main evented against Nigel McGuinness, and let me tell you, that guy's been a main event player since that happened. They don't treat these guys like they can be these main event players. And that bothers me with the WWE.
I agree with you.
You know, I would love to see Kevin Owens and Damian Priest at the Royal Rumble if they didn't fight 4 weeks in a row on Raw.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's my take.
I think I'm kind of with you on that a little bit. If you let me give me the floor for a little bit, because
it's all yours
for a little bit. And that's always been basically, that's what you've been saying about the Rumble has also coincidentally always been my only problem, and most probably from what I've heard, most people's problems with Reigns' title reign. It's like, oh, he's been doing so great. Who's going to take it off him? Outside of, it's like, who's going to take it off him? They've built no one to take the title off of Reigns. They haven't really built anyone to believably win the Rumble like in past.
Yeah.
In the past, there's always been, or not always, but there's been a few guys in recent years who was like, oh, he's probably going to win because that makes the most sense. He's in a prime spot to win and get to that next level. Shinsuke Nakamura in 2018. He didn't get to that next level, but that's more on WWE. We could go I could go on a whole rant that. Seth Rollins was another one in 2019 who made Drew McIntyre in 2020. But they haven't seemed to really have done that this year. And I don't know why. Maybe because they released all the guys that they were going to try. They were going to try that with. And now
100%.
They're like, I mean, we have nobody.
Like, I know they released a lot of guys, but as Braun Strowman or Bray Wyatt, but even
I think I can tell you the guys right now who they released who would be in viable spots right now, in my opinion. And I really don't like Strowman. You could ask anyone. He's not a good person for me, but Strowman would be believable. Bray Wyatt, even though I don't think he needs the title, he would be believable. Karrion Kross and Keith Lee. And I really mean that more with Keith Lee than Karrion Kross.
The Bearcat?
Kind of good spot. Bearcat Keith Lee, yep. Front and center.
Bearcat Keith Lee. Oh, it's a guys, show some respect.
I love I mean, it's the booking, man. It's the booking. All right, let's move on real quick. Women's Royal Rumble. We still have that. Who wants to go first? All right, not real quick. All right, Jeremy.
I mean, give it the same time as the men, Tyler.
I might be in the minority on this. I'm looking forward to this match more than I am the men's Rumble. I think it's going to be really fun. and I think there's a few people who could win it, and I'd be okay, and I'd be okay with that. Rhea Ripley, that's one. Liv Morgan's another, but my main prediction of who's going to win is going to tie into when we talk about WrestleMania, or way too early WrestleMania predictions. I think Bayley's going to return in the number 30 spot.
I like it.
Which will lead to something which I will talk about later. But all you need to know about right now, the prediction that I would put money on if I had any, and that I'm taking to my grave, is that Bayley will win the Royal Rumble this time.
I like it.
Yes.
I like it. Anthony?
Hold on, give me a second. I'm looking up who's in this fucking match.
Jonah? Jonah, let's go to you. Anthony,
hold on. I got the list.
We're dropping like flies. I think Jeremy went to the bathroom or something. All right, let's see. I mean, I actually agree with Jeremy's prediction. He told me that, and he really convinced me. I really 100% think Bayley's coming and winning this, because if you think of who's won in the past, who in the four horsewomen have won? Charlotte won once, right?
Charlotte, Becky.
Yep.
Charlotte and Becky. I'm waiting for Sasha to win hers, but I don't think it's this year. I think it's 100% going to be Bayley. Yeah. So it's going to be Bayley for me. And if not Bayley, if I need a runner-up, personally, I don't think, and I was the biggest fan, and I still am, of Rhea Ripley. Anthony remembers that when we did those predictions. She's just not built up anymore for me, Rhea Ripley. They really squashed everything cool about her. And I think that they could get it back, but it's not the time at the moment for her to win the Royal Rumble, in my opinion. So I have to go with okay, wait, but to make it fun though, honestly, to make it really fun, I would go with Bayley, but I would 100% go with any of the women, not any of them, but most of them who are returning. I think somebody like Molly Holly or Michelle McCool winning would be really, really cool. I seriously think that. Because both of them can still go. That's why I picked those two in particular. Like someone like Lita winning would be a nostalgia grab, of course, but Michelle McCool looked so good. I just watched the first Women's Rumble the other day again, and I just forgot how good she was in that match. I think she set a record for eliminations, like the first record before Nia took it. But yeah, so Michelle 100% would be all.
Well, Jonah froze up, so we'll go. Oh, is he gone?
No.
Bye, Jonah. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Someone tried to throw me over the ropes, but I'm back.
he held on. 1 foot.
Only 1 foot touch. Yeah, but to finish it up, I think that Bayley's winning, but I would love one of these women who could actually still put on another run for a Mania showing to win, because I think it'd make it interesting.
All right. Anthony?
I would love to see Bayley win. I think she's going to return at number 30, but I don't think she's winning it, because I think there's another match for her at Mania. However, as far as who I think will win, the only person that like has a viable chance from this list, and it makes sense, is Bianca. If they wanted to do back-to-back winners, you still have unfinished business with Becky and Bianca. Or you could do Bianca and Charlotte. She's really the only one that I could see has a shot. Breaking up Rhea and Nikki Cross is interesting. That makes me think maybe there's a spot for Rhea to win. Maybe we can even redo the final two from last year and make Rhea win this time around. There's things that you could do. I'll probably go with Bianca on this one. And to go back to my original point, the reason why I say that Bayley's probably not going to win is that I want to see her versus Lita at Mania. I think that could be a really good match for Lita.
I think Lita gets a match at Mania.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
If not Lita versus Charlotte, I think Lita versus Bayley is definitely going to be her retirement match, because she's been saying that, or there's rumblings that she's going to have a last run. So to cap it off at Mania, I don't see why you wouldn't do
Bayley. Do you guys see Lita winning? Does Lita get the title match at WrestleMania? She's never had a singles match at WrestleMania, and she's only had one match at WrestleMania in Toronto. I was there, WrestleMania.
I think I think the Rumble will decide whoever is going to face for the Raw title. I think Charlotte being in the match whoever eliminates
I love
Charlotte
that, by the way.
is gonna. Yeah, I think whoever eliminates Charlotte, kind of like Brock being in the match 2 years ago and Drew eliminating him.
Yeah.
I think that'll kind of signify who's going to face Charlotte. It could be Lita eliminating Charlotte, and then we get Lita and Charlotte and Bianca and Becky or whoever else.
I agree with that 100%. I think we see Lita and Charlotte at WrestleMania. It makes sense. Lita and Trish and Charlotte had that match at SummerSlam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Besties, best friends, Lita, Trish, right? There's that connection.
It'd be
there.
cool to see Trish have some type of involvement if that does happen.
That would be cool.
Really awesome.
That would be cool. I also agree with you, Anthony. I do think that the winner of the Royal Rumble faces Becky, and I think it's gonna go. I'm going outside the box here. I think we're going to see Ronda Rousey come back.
Ooh,
that's a cool one.
That's amazing.
I wouldn't be opposed to it at all.
But I just hopped in for 1 second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I didn't even hear the news, but I was just going to say that everyone's like, and it's obviously normal for the wrestling fan to only see what a foot ahead of them and not really think of the bigger picture. That's all wrestling fans. We all suffer from it. But as soon as I saw like, we've got Michelle McCool, we've got Lita, we've got all these people. Everyone's like, why spoil the surprises? We've seen every one of these women return in the past.
Yeah, I had this
3
conversation
Rumbles
as well.
So there's got to be someone bigger. They're not going to spoil like all these Rumble returns and then just, shit the bed. I don't think so. At least it's a Royal Rumble.
Listen, I love WWE legend Summer Rae as much as the next person does. But is anyone really going to be like, whoa, Summer Rae?
Come on, you're not excited to see Summer Rae and Natalia tussle it up?
We've seen Molly Holly, whoever they've announced. They've all been in the Rumble. They've all been in the Rumble as a surprise every year. Michelle McCool, who cares, right? If it's not Ronda, it's Asuka.
All right.
Sure.
There is, I will say, and I'm surprised Jonah didn't mention this because he mentioned it to me. There is one person who could return.
I know what he's saying. Do it.
There's one person who could return, and if she does return, she could very well win. And she's been hinting at making a comeback to wrestling Paige.
Yeah.
Okay. That'd be cool.
Honestly, she's probably my runner-up in predictions. If Bayley
Jeremy's got interesting picks,
is going to win.
This is why we're trying to get him on the counted out payroll that is non-existent. But
Jeremy goes where the money is.
Well,
like Day Renee down the street.
That's it, eh? That's it. Well, I'm gonna segue this over then, because I said earlier that I want WrestleMania to feel special, and to me, there is no bigger special feeling match than Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. So, guys, let's just be real quick on this. I'm going to start with you, Anthony. Give me 1 or 2 matches that you want to see at WrestleMania this year.
Oh, man. Since I'm going to be there, I definitely want to see as big of matches as possible. So many different matches that I've been playing around with. I already mentioned, wanting to see Lita and Bayley. I think that could be a really fun match. Seeing Becky and Bianca could be great. Edge and AJ Styles. I feel like we're gonna get Roman and Brock. I mean, fine, but I would like to see something bigger than that. I'm really just stumped because of like how little of a build we've been seeing, or a direction that we've been seeing, that you can come up with all these matches, but come Elimination Chamber, everything's going to be different. So it's always tough. But if there's a match that I really want to see, I already mentioned it at the top of the show, and it's not going to happen. But the Shield triple threat match, if we can get a Forbidden Door match happening, John Moxley, would love to see him back.
Makes it feel special.
It is, absolutely. If there's any match that really feels special for this type of Mania, it would have to be including those 3 guys. Because they're so limited on the amount of people that they have, that if you put them in matches, it could feel special. What do you have? Brock, Roman, Drew, Bianca, Becky, Charlotte. That's it. That's all you really have to work with. So if you could build that card around those 6 or 7 names, then you're working with something here. I don't mind including the part-timers if you can get as many as possible. Fuck, throw an Undertaker match on there. We're in Dallas.
Man,
Might as well.
Undertaker's
I
gonna
knew you were gonna say that.
Undertaker's
Please
gonna be in
don't.
St. Louis for the Rumble.
Yeah, I
That's
showed
true,
Jeremy
too.
that yesterday.
Look, my thing with Undertaker, and I'll
know.
keep this short, if he wants to be in a match, I will watch it. Like, and I'm sure everyone will watch it. Fuck out of here. I want to see him 56. It's The Undertaker.
You know what I want to see The Undertaker be? I want him to be the gatekeeper of the WWE. Remember a couple years ago, 20 years ago, when Stone Cold Steve Austin was
Back
the
in
sheriff?
my day.
Back in my day, gentlemen, Stone Cold Steve Austin was the sheriff of the WWE. Do you guys remember that? And it's like nobody, like he was just kind of like, and how Sting debuted, and he was like, Triple H was doing something wrong, so Sting came and like made it right. I think the Undertaker should be the conscience of the WWE. You know what I mean?
like
So
that.
if we ever get like something like the Authority again, or a heel being bad, or even a face going out of line, all we need to see is a gong and a choke slam.
That would be
That's
cool.
fair.
Like
He should be the leader of the WWE.
I agree with that. I really liked and this is a hot take, but the build for Cena versus The Undertaker, I liked Cena cutting promo because Cena could cut a damn good promo. We all know that. But I liked that it was kind of like Undertaker wasn't showing up. He was like, I don't need this anymore. And someone really poking at him over and over again, saying his name made him appear. Like something about that was really mystical and cool and fit into the whole Taker persona for me. So that, honestly, I'm with you for that.
I'm down with it. And Jonah, you got the floor. So what's your Mania match?
My Mania match for the Rumble winners.
Anything you want to see at WrestleMania.
Anything I want to see?
Yeah.
Damn, let's see. I'm probably going to go with, I've seen that so many times. I kind of want a triple threat, and I know it's unpopular, but we've got all these people heading into it. I want Brock, Roman, and somebody really special in there to mix it up. Maybe it's AJ Styles. Maybe it's whatever Rumble winner we've been discussing. I see you, Jeremy. Yeah, that would be sick. Like, I don't think you can go wrong putting someone really good in the middle of Brock and Roman.
Yeah,
and
give him a rub.
Honestly, give him a rub. But to be honest, what if they took it? You know what I mean? Like, what if it was a Rollins and Mania 31? I was there. So it would be really cool. It would be really one of the best. It would be really awesome to see someone. And honestly, the only person that comes to mind right now is Styles. I wouldn't hate it if it was Edge, but it's not going to be Edge. But Styles or Rollins, and they could go off the history of WrestleMania 31. But that's what I want to see is a
Could
triple
be
threat
Drew
to finish
too.
it.
What about
I don't know.
What about Daniel Bryan? He gets put into all the triple threat
It'd
matches.
be cool. Yeah, Daniel Bryan, just throw him into it. Okay, wait a minute. This is what I wanted to ask you guys about, though. This is not fit into my Mania match. It's just a quick question because I see him hyping himself up. Do we care if Moose makes an appearance at all?
No, he should not make an appearance. He's the Impact World Champion. He will not win the Rumble, and it will hurt him. He should not make an appearance.
Emphatic.
I'm kind of on the other side because I think he could enter the Rumble, throw a few people out, get eliminated by Big E in particular, and if they do that, they could do that would be like, okay, Big E has his match. Moose versus Big E and it's like the perfect like mid-card Mania. It feels like a Mania match, but a mid-card Mania match,
Do enough WWE fans know who Moose is to care?
No, I don't think so, honestly.
But Jeremy, you said it right there. He's the world champion in Impact, but he's a mid-carder in WWE.
Yep.
If he's 100%.
lucky. If he's lucky.
If Jeremy, he's lucky.
Take us home, man. What's your Mania match?
Oh, okay. So this is going to go back to my prediction. Bayley wins the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's finally time. We are going, and this is my prediction. I'm less confident in it now, but I'm still rocking with it. This is the year we're finally going to get the 4 horsewoman fatal 4-way match.
I love it. I would love to see that.
I'm down.
The cards are finally.
Is Sasha going to be cleared?
And
that's the thing.
Is Sasha's not clear for the Rumble. She will be for Mania. I believe so. I think it's 4 to 6 weeks, they said. And so I think, we're gonna get it. I think it's gonna main event night 1.
Sick.
And I don't know. You could even do like a bonus fatal 4-way for the other woman's title with the new up and comers. You could have Rhea, Bianca, Liv, and I don't know, throw Doudrop in there.
Yeah.
That.
That's all who's left.
Have that be a fun mid-card match on night 2, and have the real women's main event, the 4 horsewoman fatal 4-way on night 1.
So, boys, I like everything you said here, and I'm going to go with something off the cuff. And I stole this blatantly from Jay from the Good Friends Better Enemies podcast, so I will give him his props for it. Earlier today, we talked about Austin Theory and all this time that he's had with Vince McMahon. Now, if I was Vince McMahon's son, I would be very jealous about all of this. What if we have Shane McMahon come back and give Theory a rub?
The best in the world.
Listen, I'm not a Shane McMahon fan.
I would love it.
But being in a guy like Austin Theory could really get a rub from a guy like Shane McMahon.
And we can't say it wouldn't be a good match. That would be a really
cool it would match. Be a great match.
I got really excited hearing that. Not gonna lie.
Hey, look,
that's what
I'll one up you. Like, we're looking for Steve Austin to do something at this show. Let him be the special guest ref.
Sign me up.
Yes.
Sign me up.
Austin. Did you hear? Jeremy and I were there when they did I think it was like the egg thing. It was the first one. Was it Raw or Smack? No, it was Survivor Series.
Survivor Series.
When they did that. And wait, Anthony, you were there too.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Of the Rock stuff. Bullshit.
Oh,
but
my God.
When he walked into the room, he said it, and I don't think this was long-term story-booking at all, leading to Austin doing it, Stone Cold doing anything. But he walks in, he goes, "What's your name?" He goes, "Austin Theory," and Vince just goes, "Austin." Ugh. Bad name, but I just thought that was so cool. It was so little, but I loved it.
That is amazing. I love that. Gentlemen, I really enjoyed that conversation with you guys. I have put together a little top 7 list, though. Would you guys like to partake?
Look at you putting a top 7 list together for us.
Listen,
that's so unexpected.
I knew that I had Jeremy and Jonah coming on the show today. So I really actually did a lot of research, and I don't normally do a lot of research. I just kind of go off my generic knowledge because I'm old and I'm pretty good with wrestling, but I dove deep today. And now that I have Anthony here as his professor, I'm very glad I did this research. I feel like I'm in
night school right now.
Yeah, we're in night classes right now. I'm not drinking coffee. Anthony.
Night class.
Yeah, we normally record at like Friday afternoons. It's Monday night, and I'm not.
This is like when you see your professor in the grocery store, like such an out of body experience.
They have lives?
Yeah, apparently. Well, in my spare time in my life, I have decided to put a list together to count down the top 7 greatest performances in Royal Rumble history.
Love it.
And I want to jump right in with the number 7 here, guys. And I'm going to go right to last year, and I want to talk about Bianca Belair.
Yep.
I went back and forth between her and Edge on this spot, but I think Bianca was the right person for it, and I'll tell you why. She entered at the number 3 spot. She lasted 56 minutes and 52 seconds, only eliminated 4 people, but listen to the names that she eliminated: Bayley, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte with Rhea Ripley. Well, that's only 3 names. She only eliminated 3 people, whatever.
Still big names.
Big names that she eliminated. She won the match coming in at the number 3 spot. But what I really like about this is that this win is what elevated her from like potential to a legit main event player. This win did something for her. You know what I mean? People looked at her as like, man, this is 2 years in a row. She's had a strong performance in the Rumble. She won the Rumble this year. This girl can be a champion. And that's why I put her at the number 7 spot here. What do you guys think? I don't know. Anthony, go with this one first.
Solid pick. I always toss around whether I give 2021 or 2020. I would probably go more towards 2020 just because she really went all out on that Rumble. I would say that was really like her breakout moment, and 2021 was really when she was made a star. But I think either or could have definitely made it in. I think number 7 is a great spot for that.
I went back and forth on it. I gave it to this one because she won the Rumble. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I went with. Jeremy, what do you think? Is this a good spot for this one?
I would have given you so much shit if this wasn't on your list.
It almost didn't make it, man. This was a hard list.
I was I was worried for a second, but it's on. It's all good. And yeah, I agree for all the things you said. It's as much about what happened after than her performance itself. And like we've seen and we'll going back to people like Asuka or Shinsuke Nakamura, who should have been something more after their wins, and WWE just fumbled the ball with them. Bianca is one of the few that they haven't fumbled the ball with, and now she's probably going to go into history books as one of the best NXT call-ups of all time. Definitely in that top 10, maybe in that top 5.
Jonah, do I have your blessing here? Good spot for the number 7?
Absolutely a good spot for it. I agree wholeheartedly with everything you just said. It makes a lot of sense too. Like, I think a lot of people probably thought she was going to win when she came in, especially the second year for a strong showing. And yeah, the first year, I'm with you, Anthony, was probably like the better one on paper. But this second one catapulted her into like the stratosphere in terms of Rumble performances. And we're going to see a lot more women's Rumbles to come. She is probably in my top 3, maybe even number 1 right now. So it's
I think her and Natty are the best 2 performers in Women Rumble history right now. Right? Natty's always Iron Woman. Another greatest performer in Royal Rumble history, though, is my number 6. And we're going back to the year 1995, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
That's a good pick.
So there were a lot of Shawn Michaels options I could have went for here, and I'll get into I have a couple of honorable mentions, and I'll get into that in a little bit. This one was a little bit history making here, and let's run down the numbers here. He entered at the number 1 spot. This was the shortest Royal Rumble in history, though. It only went 38 minutes and 41 seconds because Shawn went coast to coast. In that time frame, though, he eliminated 8 people. He eliminated the British Bulldog, Duke the Dumpster Drosy, Dr. Tom Pritchard, both the Bushwhackers, Jacob Blue, Lex Luger with help from Crush, and Aldo Montoya, your boy Just Incredible Jonah, who we've both spoken to. He went on to win the match. He is the first person in history to be the number 1 entrant to win the Royal Rumble. And let's talk about perhaps one of the best finishes in Royal Rumble history. And Anthony, I know you'll appreciate this as the classic match classroom we do with our Vince McMahon love. 1 foot, whoa! Like Vince was amazing here.
Oh my god!
Like Jonah, am I okay on the number 6 spot here for Shawn Michaels? He wouldn't have been higher, but 30 minutes and a poor Rumble hurt him.
No, you're definitely right with the number 6 spot for this. And I'll be honest, this is where the classic match classroom effect wears off on me. Just like Anthony here, we did not see this. I didn't see this live. This is your childhood right here. At least I think so. But yeah. I know it is.
Yes, it was my childhood. I wasn't a teenager yet.
But I mean, from everything they've obviously made it one of the greatest wins of all time for a Rumble. And yeah, I think Michaels does it for that number. Yeah.
So you guys are all younger, right? You guys are all about the same age. So Jeremy, this Rumble win. They preserved it in history, right? Is this bang on? How am I doing on my list so far here?
I think, I think it's pretty. He had to be on there going coast to coast. Yeah, that's all I could say about it.
That's fair. That's fair. I know you guys probably haven't seen this one or a lot about it or know a lot about it. Anthony, have you seen
Where's Mike?
Royal Rumble? Yeah, I know. Where's Mike? I need another old person.
I have not seen this Rumble. I know on paper that it's a very solid performance.
You're not missing anything. It's one of the worst Royal Rumbles of all time.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
Duke the fucking dumpster Droz. You know what I mean?
Does sound
Manpower was in this Royal Rumble.
Oh boy. Does does sound like a really good performance, though. They've definitely held it up to a good standard, always showed the 1 foot. I prefer, when we're talking Shawn Michaels in the Royal Rumble, I prefer the year 1993. Cheap plug for the next episode of Classic Match Classroom. I don't know.
Well, he wasn't the Rumble match in 93, but I like the plug.
Oh, was he? Well, I like what he did besides the Rumble match.
Teach your students better. What are we
I was going to
looking
say,
at
did you
here?
forget the
Education's in
episode we
toilet.
recorded already where it was a singles match and not in the Rumble?
Well, that's what I meant. But look, nevertheless, good spot. Like you said, the 30-minute Rumble definitely knocks down a little bit. But it's Shawn. You definitely have to put him on this list.
Okay,
All right, well,
raising my hand here. If we're just revising the list for Shawn Michaels Rumble things, I'm gonna go for one out of my childhood because it actually came with a story to it that I loved.
I already know.
Felt
I know
so
where
much.
you're going.
You already know when Batista gets him out and the dream is crushed. What is that? 2009?
2010.
Right.
My first
That's-
Rumble.
yeah.
That's
Great
the
shit.
one. That's the one I went back and forth with. I think as far as storytelling goes, that was his greatest performance.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. And not to say, I mean, I think you're right with your list picking the one that you picked because that is the famous one, right? But, and he actually wins it. But at the same time, yeah, that is just such a heartfelt, I mean, eliminating Triple H of all people, then just the pure anger that comes afterwards. I remember like it was yesterday. It's such a good Rumble appearance.
Absolutely.
I love it.
I do think it was one of his better ones. The reason why I picked this one, it's the Bianca Belair effect. This was Shawn's first break into the main event picture. You know what I mean? He won the Rumble. He went on to Mania, the worst WrestleMania of all time, to fight Diesel at WrestleMania 11. But this was Shawn's little coming out party. You know what I mean? 95. It's not a good year for the WWF, gentlemen. So
really?
yeah, you're not missing much there. Let's move on to number 5, though. This one here, controversial individual, but great Rumble performance. Chris Benoit, 2004.
Yep.
So Benoit also entered the number 1 spot. He lasted 1 hour and 1 minute and 30 seconds, beating Bob Backlund's record from the Royal Rumble 1993. He was the record holder before that. He eliminated 6 guys. Now, listen to the guys that he eliminated, and they really told a story here. Mark Henry, Bradshaw, Rhino, Matt Morgan, A-Train, and The Big Show. Those are like the biggest guys in the company.
Yeah.
Like, you want to talk about giving a rub to a guy. This whole Rumble was fantastic. I know, Anthony, I'll start with you here. We watched a little bit of it in Class Match Classroom. This was the one with Foley and Orton where they did their spot, right? This was a great Rumble, but Benoit really went toe-to-toe with everybody in there. He didn't do the rest spot in here. He just was an ass-kicking machine. I know he's controversial because of, the controversy, but this guy really stepped out and proved why he was one of the best wrestlers in the world. Anthony, what do you know about this one?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have to put him on here too. I didn't even realize that he eliminated those type of guys. And it definitely, if we're talking about storytelling in a Rumble, that's a perfect way to tell a story, but also get the win. So that's, win-win all around. Definitely made Benoit going on to WrestleMania 20 and just, great stuff all around. Really good pick.
Jeremy, this is one of my favorite Royal Rumbles of all time. We got the Undertaker tease in it. We had the Foley Orton stuff, and we had the superstar performance of Benoit. How's he ranking on my list for you at the number 5 spot?
I think it's honestly, I might have put it a little higher, but the fact it definitely deserved its spot on the list. Benoit, controversy aside, is one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, me too.
And I think his whole run to the title, to the World Heavyweight Championship, is a big part of that. And
absolutely.
And and the guys he eliminated, like you said, it was just nuts.
Yeah.
And I love this Rumble.
Jonah, I'll tell you, this was my original number 3 before I really did my deep dive research into here. Where's this sitting for you? I know you've seen this Rumble.
Yeah, definitely. I love it. I think exactly what Jeremy said. It's really about the climb, and like Benoit in that Rumble, he really showed off that he had what it takes. I did not know he eliminated such big people like that. Although I will say, in terms of Rumbles, memories that I have being really good, I think it's probably the best elimination. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the guillotine elimination, right? He has Big Show in a headlock.
Yeah, I love it.
So I love it so much. It's just pure grit. He's literally 500 pounds. Benoit's what, like 230 or whatever. and it's all about the heart and when he's pulling him over. And that's a memory you have to be like a true fan, I feel, to not to, put anyone else to shame here. You guys remember it, but I'm sure there are those out there who have grown up with WWE, rewriting its history, and they don't really show that elimination. So you really have to go back and watch that to have it stick in your mind. And I don't know, for some reason it stuck in mind really well.
See, for me on a personal level too, like on a personal level,
I think you ranked it well. I'll say that. But
Okay, I'll take that. On a personal level, I had my two guys growing up. I was a fan of the Hardy Boys before anybody knew who they were. I was a fan of them when they dressed how the Young Bucks dress now, when they were on metal fighting Too Cool every week. And I was a fan of Chris Benoit from 1995. So to see him win this match and they built him up as the underdog, like, I was hyped up on a personal level. You know what I mean? Benoit was my guy. That's where, if you look at it now, like his run in this Rumble, he's not a record holder. He's not whatever, but his body of work in this match speaks for itself. But my number 4, he is a record holder. My number 4, we're going back to the year 2006 with Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio entered at the number 2 spot. He set the record that is still current to this day, 1 hour and 2 minutes and 12 seconds, not counting Greatest Royal Rumble, which is Daniel Bryan's record, I think 1 hour and 12 minutes. He eliminated.
Which we will not count.
We will not count. Although I did love that Royal Rumble.
Agreed. I did. Okay, my boy Kali was there, so we have to.
I almost had to put Titus O'Neil on my list for falling under the ring on that one.
Honestly, I wouldn't put you past putting Titus on the list. That created like more. That probably created more buzz than any of these mentions put together.
That's my favorite thing of all time. I was so happy that happened. Rey Mysterio, though, he eliminated 6 people in this match. Now listen to these names. He eliminated Triple H, Simon Dean with help with Triple H, Psychosis, RVD with help from Triple H, Super Crazy with help from RVD, and Randy Orton. Pretty big names here. Like I said, record time for the longest amount inside of a Royal Rumble ring that holds to this day. So that was in 2006. We're in 2022 right now. Very impressive. Something I really loved about Rey's performance here, just him and Triple H going coast to coast together. They were number 1, number 2. They were in the top 3 together with Orton. And, one of the most emotional Royal Rumble wins of all time with the memory of Eddie Guerrero. Rey was doing it for Eddie. He came out in the lowrider, had the Eddie band on. This was right after Eddie passed away. This was a great performance by Rey Mysterio. Jonah, let's start with you on this one.
The Rey Mysterio performance has always been one of my favorites in a Rumble. They obviously always played it back over and they'll play it back again this year with his, record. And the fact that he's still in it, I think speaks to something too, and is still going at the top of his game. Like, he hasn't lost a step, in my opinion. He is so quick, so fluid. And now that he's got Dominic with him, I think it comes full circle. I just like the storytelling aspect of following a person, because it's rare these days with all the releases, right? And just rare in general that somebody gets that amount of longevity out of a career and is still going strong. But yeah, I think the Rumble win itself is great. I love the coast to coast mentions. I love the coast to coast when they actually happen, because like you said, there's some that they tried to put on the list. Like, well, what'd you say, Daniel Bryan's?
Yeah, he was. I think he was like number 1 in 1 hour, but it was 40 guys, the Greatest Royal Rumble. It wasn't the
50,
Royal Rumble.
50.
It was 50. Oh shit.
It was 50 guys. I'm almost positive. Yeah, Kali was like 47, lumbered down after
your boy.
Honorary mention.
You want to call your boy up and buzz him in?
I got him on speed dial on WhatsApp. Yeah. Anyone got like $2,000? But so I think for Mysterio, I would honestly like, I have a number 1. It happened 2 years ago. But in terms of, I'd put him at number 2. I gotta say you ranked it wrong. Sorry, Tyler. I'd put him at number 2.
I love it. I'm gonna fight my case on this. Okay, I'm gonna fight my case on it. All right, Anthony. I gave you
Dean elimination.
The Simon Dean elimination, right out of contention. All right, Anthony. I gave you no notice about coming on the show today and no time to prep about this. But what do you know about Rey Mysterio in the Rumble here?
He's a record setter. He definitely has to be on this list. I'm the opposite of Jonah. Actually, I think he should be a little bit lower, under Chris Benoit, just because I feel like the story behind Benoit, also because it's one of the better Rumbles of all time. I think that has a lot to do with his performance. And like you said, he didn't pull an edge. He really went the full time. So I would put Benoit over him, but like the whole angle with, doing it for Eddie and, all the surrounding circumstances definitely makes it something that you could say, all right, maybe a little higher, but I don't know. I'll have to put Benoit over him.
I will tell you the only reason why I gave it to Rey over Benoit is because he has been the record holder since 06.
Yeah, that makes
I think
sense.
that's
yeah,
the only, because their Rumble performances were really hand in hand. You know
True.
what I mean? But I gave it to Rey just for the record setter. Jeremy, how am I doing here? Are you on board still, or did I fuck up?
I'm pretty on board with this. This was probably the first Royal Rumble I've ever watched. Back in, my friend had it on DVD. I think on the way to WrestleMania 23, we watched it.
22.
And except not because this was after we watched it.
You watched it later. Okay.
Yeah, we watched it late. Yeah, because it was on DVD and whatnot by that point. And on the
Jeremy
way to
knows dates, Tyler.
Yeah,
and you're drunk, so don't even try.
Strongly buzzed, Jonah. Strongly buzzed. All right.
Yeah. But it's one of my favorite Rumbles of all time, only behind Bianca's 2021 Rumble and the 2007 Rumble, because my personal GOAT, Undertaker, won.
Yeah,
and
that was a great Rumble. That was one of the best Rumble matches of all time.
Absolutely. Yeah. But as for performance-wise, I think it's hard until Bianca showed up. This was probably my favorite performance of anyone in the Rumble because of the emotional undertones behind it, and it's crazy how circumstance affects how we view what happens in WWE. Because, and I always tell people this when in regards to like size and whatnot, but it absolutely is the case, and it's remarkable. If Eddie didn't tragically pass away, would Rey Mysterio have won this Rumble?
No.
I agree. He probably wouldn't have won the Rumble, and honestly, probably wouldn't have been a world champion, as tragic as it sounds.
Well, they wanted to do Eddie and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 22. That was the match.
Oh my God.
That was the match. That was penciled in. That was going to happen.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then Eddie passed away. I have an unpopular opinion too, I don't know if it's unpopular or not, but I really think that maybe Rey and Triple H should have fought at this WrestleMania 22. And I think that The Undertaker and Kurt Angle should have fought for the world title at WrestleMania 22. Because they had that awesome match at No Way Out, which we are actually covering on Classic Match Costume in about 3 weeks. And it's one of the best. You guys are
booked out like dudes at ringside here. I love it.
Buddy, I'm booked out until after Mania. Dudes at ringside wish. Huge pop for that, Jonah. If you don't know, I'm not plugging them. I can't do it. I'm not. No, do it. Dudes at ringside, they try their best. Okay.
That's their tagline. Dudes at ringside, we try our best.
I do, and they are entertaining. I don't know. They're okay. But Rey and Undertaker had one of the best matches in wrestling history at No Way Out of that year. I think they should have done it at WrestleMania. It's a bigger Mania match. Triple threat. Rey Mysterio gets that moment. Obviously, it's great. But why not play out that little back and forth with him and Triple H at the Royal Rumble and have them go for the title? Maybe triple threat with John Cena. Put Rey in there instead.
I think I kind of feel you on that. I think you could have had Triple H beat Edge at whatever time Cena ended up beating him to go up against Triple H. And then you could have
Rumble actually.
Oh, word. So that goes out the window.
Yeah, the booking's tough here. I've thought about this a lot too. The booking's tough here. Yeah, because Edge is the wild card.
Absolutely, but you could get the title on Triple H somehow and have Rey Mysterio face Triple H. That's a really interesting idea you had, and I'm kind of on board with it.
I mean, armchair booking, right? What could have been on Showtime with Mike and Tyler?
Showtime with, you better be careful. Trademark infringement laws may not cover it if James is feeling grabby. I could totally see Primetime having a Showtime.
I mean, his numbers have mine trumped. So
Yeah.
Shout out to James and our boy Renee did pretty too, right?
Open the forbidden door, get Renee on
Bonjour.
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 I do love that. I'm going back and forth on my number 3 and my number 2, even to this moment right now, gentlemen. This is a tough one for me. I'm changing it on the fly. My number 3.
We're not in the classroom. What is this changing on the fly?
I know that's what I do. I always do this
even for the mornings.
I always do this with my honor roll in the classroom, but I'm doing it on the fly. It's a counted out trademark as well. My original number 2, I'm putting in my number 3. I'm going to 1997, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Ooh, we love that. Yeah.
This was the coming out party of Steve Austin, ladies and gentlemen. Entered at number 5, lasted 45 minutes and 7 seconds, eliminating 10 people. Phineas Godwin, Bart Gunn, Jake the Snake. I knew everybody was going to pop on that. Jake the Snake, Owen Hart, Goldust, Mark Marrow, Savio Vega, Jesse James, Bret Hart, Vader, and The Undertaker. He goes on to win the Royal Rumble.
Wow.
This was my favorite Royal Rumble finish of all time, where Austin gets eliminated, comes back in because the referees are distracted on a brawl with Mankind and Terry Funk, dumps out Taker and Vader. Bret Hart eliminates Fake Diesel, and then Austin dumps out Bret Hart. Fake Diesel. He should have been in that Final 4. He got fucked too, everybody. All right. Different story for a different podcast. And then Austin gets the win here. Steve Austin was in this match by himself forever. He did the CM Punk spot a couple years, when
I
Punk
remember that. Yeah.
when Punk did that spot on the microphone. That was Austin's spot first. He would dump out everybody. I think he did about 4 or 5 guys in a row. And then there's that magical moment where he's just sitting on the turnbuckle. Looking at his watch. And then Bret Hart's music hits. It's on the classroom. Anthony knows it. What a sell by Austin. Anthony, start with you. You know the moment, man. Tell me about this one.
97 Rumble. I hear the number 1997. It's like I'm doing times tables on the board,
All we talk about in the classroom,
so much
man.
97.
Tyler's biased moment.
I'm telling you guys right now, I will put the year 1997 in the WWE up against any year in the company history. It's one of their best.
Sure, as long as we're not talking about a Hell in a Cell match that happened.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. That Hell in a Cell match is awesome. As long as we're not talking about DX in 97, we're all right.
Sure.
Cell, though, you're out of here.
Let's fight in the corner for a few minutes. Yes.
Uncle Dave, 5 stars.
Uncle Dave. This definitely has to be on the list. Uncle Dave. This definitely has to be on the list. Just the amount of stuff that Austin did in this match. You mentioned the CM Punk spot, everything with Bret and Austin, just going the distance, and of course the infamous finish. Everything about it was just amazing. I keep saying storytelling, but like that for me is the best part of the Rumble, is if you could tell a really great story. So I definitely have to agree with you on this one. I honestly might even be able to put it higher. But for now, I think 3 is definitely a great spot for it.
This is my original number 2. Jonah, let's go to you on this one. Where was it ranked? Number 2, number 3 for you, man? Or elsewhere?
I mean, I personally, the Austin, so this is as you said, the big one for Austin. And if I'm correct, I believe he was supposed to win it the year before or make it to the end, but he slipped out on one of the
supposed to be Final 4. Yeah.
One of the Samoan guys. Oh, yeah, okay.
Fatu, yeah. Making a difference, Fatu. Worse. Look it up if you don't know it, folks. It's awful.
But thinking about it, there's just so many good Rumble appearances that, see, this was huge for you because this was like this is your time as a wrestling fan. And I agree that year was probably really, really great. I see things about it. It was like a transition period for WWE and everything. Like, it was huge. But I don't know if I put it number 1 or 2. I think you got it right at 3. I think you need to have Austin on a Rumble list. I don't think there is a list without Austin on it. Obviously, most Rumble wins ever. And I think that's a record he's going to hold for some time. Maybe next year, knowing WWE. But I really think that number 3 is perfect. 316, 3 Rumble wins. I think 3 is great for this.
Okay, I'll take it.
Pulling it all together. Yeah,
I'll take it. I mean, the guy dumped out 10 people in 45 minutes. Jeremy, where are we thinking here?
Yeah, when you were listing the names, I was doing the math. I was like, I thought you said 11. I was like, what? And I was like, 10. That makes sense. But yeah, he should be on this. I think it's perfect spot for him. Yeah, I don't know. I know one of the guys who will probably be above the other one. I don't know, honestly. So I'm excited to hear that.
Well, all the old people on my list know who my number 1 is, I think. All the old people listening.
Well, I know that
I know you're number 1 too.
I know I'm going to disagree with the number 2 placement.
You're about to disagree right now, Jonah, because I'll start with you after I run the facts off. We're going to 2020. Brock Lesnar. Yep. Jonah is fired up.
I'm taking the tux off.
The tux is coming off. The bow tie is out. Jonah's heated up. Brock Lesnar.
I have a love-hate relationship with this.
Listen,
it's only love. It's only love. Look,
this was my original number 5.
Ooh.
And then I did my research a little bit deeper, and it just can't be number 1. It can't be
fair. Not fair. No, I think
fair to Flair.
I've never seen this. Is that was good. The mind appreciates that. But I think so I grew up playing the wrestling games, right? And I got pretty good at them. And in those games, at least I would play a Rumble and play it exactly how Lesnar did in real life. I never thought I'd see anything like that. This man eliminated guy after guy after guy. And, I understand people's gripe with it, but you have Rumbles every year. You have 2 Rumbles a year now. You can get your satisfaction. And if Lesnar did it all the way to 30, I probably would be in the same boat. That's, hypocritical. I wouldn't. Yeah. But still, I could see where they'd be coming from.
If he did that.
I could see where people have been coming from when they said, oh, this is too much. The guys he eliminated, and I'm sure you got him there. You got John Morrison, great guy. Wasn't gonna. You got Cesaro. Okay, fine, I know, but you got. I'm just thinking of the guys in the beginning. Shelton Benjamin, Shinsuke Nakamura. Those are just amazing.
The rundown?
MVP. No, I think I can remember MVP.
Okay. You're good so far.
Who do I have so far? Let's see. Hold up.
Yeah, you got
Elias.
Yeah.
Who did I? So I said 7 guys so far.
You got Elias, Morrison, MVP, Sheldon Benjamin, Cesaro, Nakamura. You said?
Yeah, I said Nakamura. Okay, Keith Lee, Braun Strowman, Big E, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. There's
Kofi,
one you're not going to get. I know.
Kofi Kingston.
Yeah. There's 2 left. I don't think you're going to get one of them.
All right, let's see. 2 left. I'm going because I've watched this match.
It's your boy.
It was Elias. One of these people is my boy?
No, it's just Brock is your boy.
Oh, Brock's my guy. Yeah.
Actually, you did interview one of these people. I'll give you a giveaway.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Hold on. Give me 2 minutes on the clock real fast.
2 minutes on the clock? You want me to throw to somebody else here?
No.
We're doing a podcast here. We can't have dead air, Joe. I don't know if you know how this works or not. It's been a while since you've done one, but...
Wait, so Keith Lee was the big spot. As it goes down...
Did you say Strowman?
Yeah, I said Strowman.
Do you want me to run you some stats on while you think about it?
Yeah.
Entered at the number 1 spot, lasted 26 minutes and 24 seconds. He broke Roman Reigns' record set in 2014 for most eliminations in a Rumble. He broke the record for most consecutive eliminations in a row with 13. That record was 8, set in 1989 from Hulk Hogan before that.
Wow.
Very impressive there.
That's incredible.
Very impressive. And he also made Drew McIntyre look like a fucking star.
Yeah, he
With
did.
Ricochet's
And
help.
by the way, no Ricochet's help.
Never
Ricochet
forget.
showed him who the man was, right, Jeremy? The one and only. What was I gonna say? I think the pop that I watched after Lesnar got eliminated, I've never seen anything like it. Still, whetting someone's appetite like that for that long, and then finally getting that big moment in one match is something special that I think
100%.
tops everything, in my opinion. I gotta say, I don't know. I don't know who these two guys are. I'm blanking.
Anyone want to take a guess? I'll say him.
I think one of them is Luke Gallows.
No, it is not Luke Gallows.
Yeah.
He came
I
in
don't
much
think he was in the
later.
company. Oh, he was in it?
He was in
Yeah.
the company, yeah.
Oh.
Somebody
Anyone
was
know?
somebody was very glorious.
Oh, well,
Rude.
forgettable. Bobby Roode. Who's the other guy who I interviewed?
The guy that you interviewed has a fucking red beard, man.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Eric
yeah.
Rowan did have him. I interviewed. That's funny. Yeah.
Wow.
Forgettable for
because he said
That's
that
right.
it was something
That's
he
fair.
interviewed, and I remember that.
Everyone I mentioned, he had a good spot with, I'd like to point out, by the way. Those are the only two I don't remember anything about them, but every other elimination, people could say what they want. Lesnar gave him as much time as he could. He
Yeah.
even had a little thing with Cesaro. I mean, I don't know how you could hate this Rumble or not count it as at least top 3 of all time. I think it was an incredible performance for
you
Brock.
got to be an idiot to hate this performance. Like, this was fantastic. Brock shattered records everywhere. Jeremy, what do you know about this Rumble, man? Give me your take on this. Is this number
What I
1 or
know
number
about
2?
Rumble, I watched it with Jonah live, and I had a very different reaction in the moment when Brock was eliminating
did.
everyone,
You
especially
hated it,
when he
eh?
eliminated my boy Keith Lee.
But that was
The
the
Bearcat.
greatest rub ever.
Bearcat.
You can't say that.
He's
Lesnar
like, if
literally
you
said,
mention-
look.
If you mention Bearcat one more time, I will get off this.
Bearcat.
Glory.
No, but Lesnar
no, I
saying,
get
"Oh,
it.
this is a big motherfucker." Like, that was a great run.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jeremy. That was
was
I
great.
know, but I get it. From a storytelling perspective, it was top notch and absolutely deserved to be in top 3 Rumble performances of all time. But I'll always be somewhat bitter towards it because
So-
just the smark in me who's like, he shouldn't be. It should be someone new and fresh, and I can't help it.
Well, I mean, everyone's going to be pissed when Brock wins Rumble this year, my call. But Anthony, let me go to you here. Jonah clearly thinks.
Oh no.
Jonah
Jonah
gonna be
clearly
eating
thinks-
a sandwich with me. What?
Jonah thinks this should be my number 1. He sat up. The tuxedo almost shot off of his fucking. The bow tie almost shot off his body. Anthony, is this my number 2 or my number 3 or my number 1? Where do you rank this in my top 3, Anthony? Is Brock Lesnar's performance a number 1 worthy, or was Austin's better, or is my number 1, which we all know what it's going to be now?
I don't think it's number 1, although I love the Rumble. I think Brock's performance definitely speaks for itself. I think number 2 is a perfect place for it. What sets Brock apart from your number 1, which I won't spoil, is just the field. The fact that Brock, of course, went up against some great guys. He had a lot of story and a lot of background with a lot of those guys. But even now that we're talking about it, we forgot about, Robert Roode and Rowan and all those other guys.
Which is easy to do, but okay.
I mean, yeah.
Very easy to do.
It's your boy Redbeard, man.
Yeah, I know. I hope he doesn't hear this.
coming back.
No,
I'm
I
sure
mean,
he's a subscriber to my channel. We're pretty
Yeah.
sponsored.
No, I mean, I would understand toying with this between your number 1 and number 2. I think he had a really dominant performance. I think the real selling point is how he made Drew with just that one elimination, probably one of the best eliminations of all time. Really,
Yeah.
maybe a hot take
It's
on
Paul
that
London
one, but
good, man.
yeah.
Was that the clothesline from from whoever.
Snitsky.
Yeah.
Shooting star.
Dead.
See you later.
Hey.
How about the random Sabu with the table?
I
was
love
the
that.
table.
I love that.
That was really, really cool.
I
That
think
was like original R-Truth.
Sabu
Bring a
probably
table for no reason.
Sabu probably charged Kane $50 to put him through that table and made him wait an hour and a half later than he should have been for that.
Try 2 weeks. Yeah.
The podcast we can make about the podcast that we do, folks.
Oh my
Dark
goodness.
side of podcasts.
That's money right there. No, we gotta definitely put Brock in here. I don't know, Jonah. I don't agree necessarily with number one. I could see your argument, but I think number two, a very close number two, is where Brock should be.
Number one, gentlemen, you have to be fair to Flair.
Yep.
This is the greatest Royal Rumble match of all time. I'm putting it out there.
Never watched it.
You've never watched Royal Rumble 92?
I've watched
Kick him.
92.
Royal Rumble.
Kick him.
You're
know.
out.
Like I'm 23.
You have been
I'm
dismissed.
practically a child.
Listen,
He's bragging about it.
I'm a child and I've seen that match.
listen, I'm almost 40 years old and I watch this modern day crap that we're putting out here now. You can't fucking go back and watch Ric Flair go coast to coast at the Royal Rumble.
I've been meaning to watch it.
You've been meaning to watch it. How long have you liked wrestling for? Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Listen, what you're going to do, we're going to have a follow-up, okay? You're going to come back on Count It Out after you watch the Royal Rumble, and you're going to be like, Tyler, holy fuck, did I fuck up by not watching this sooner?
He's trying to lock you in for a future ep. Don't go until you get the deposit, Jeremy. Money in the bank first.
Before we run into the Ric Flair stats, let's take a look at the guys that were in this Royal Rumble. Davey Boy Smith, Ted DiBiase, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, Tito Santana, the Texas Tornado, Greg Valentine, Nikolai Volkov, Big Boss Man, Rowdy Piper, Jake the Snake, Jim Duggan, IRS, Jimmy Snuka, The Undertaker, Macho Man, The Iron Sheik, Rick Martel, Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter, Sid. I'm not naming all the names. Those are like the big dogs, man. This is a
I was about to say, no way this is the roster for this Rumble. We're the filler guys. How many filler guys are
Do you want the filler guys?
Yeah, I love the filler guys. Let's
All
get
right.
a laugh.
Filler guys. Jerry Sags, Haku, the Barbarian, Repo Man, Hercules, the Berserker, Virgil, Skinner, and the Warlord.
Virgil, that's the best. The Warlord.
GCW
Tyler,
legend Vincent.
GCW legend Vincent. That is correct.
Did you come prepared, Tyler, with my Virgil stats that I asked for, or what?
Your Virgil stats? What do you want? Breadsticks and Olive Garden gift cards? How about I give you the Ric Flair stats? How about that? Entered at number 3 with the greatest reaction from Bobby the Brain Heenan of all time. Lasted 1 hour in the Rumble. Eliminated 5 people, which I really love because that just is like such a great heel thing that he didn't eliminate a lot of people. The British Bulldog, Texas Tornado Kerry Von Erich, who he has a history with the NWA, where he dropped the title to Kerry in the Dave Von Erich Memorial thing. Big Boss Man, Macho Man with help from Sid, and Sid with help from Hogan. He won it like a heel with the pull spot. No spoilers for Germany. It's only been since 1992. We don't want to spoil the finish for you, but Sid and Hogan have a little beef, okay? What more can you say about this Rumble? Ric Flair bumped for the entire roster. And it's like Chris Benoit watches Royal Rumble to be like, okay, this is what I need to do to get over. Ric Flair became a legend in the WWF at this point because he already was in the NWA, but he needed to prove his worth in the WWF. This is the greatest Royal Rumble performance of all time. It's not even questionable. And I'll get you to a cool runner-up I have after this. But Anthony, you got my back here or what?
I got your back on this one. just a
He
stacked
doesn't want to fail
field.
the class.
Yeah, I had to go with my student. I'll give him a
Yeah, I
fucking
know.
fail if he didn't.
I have
so.
to teacher's pet after a few of the ratings that I've given, but I'll definitely side with you on this one. As far as the best Rumble of all time, it's between 92 and 2001. I lean more
Rumble.
towards 2001, but I could see 92 for sure. Flair, like you said, bumped for everybody. I love that he was the center of attention, but not the center of attention at the same time. I feel like
everybody over.
Exactly. He for sure really made the roster look strong. You kind of knew that Flair was going to be the one to go the distance, but at the same time, with him putting so many people over, the field was wide open. It could have been Hogan, could have been Sid, Undertaker, whoever else, which I love. I love that he added so much story, so much layers to this Rumble. And I don't think this Rumble works without Flair. So I think with that, he's the most valuable guy in that match. The most valuable winner of all time, the most valuable performance of all time. So I got to go with, what you said, 100%. Love this Rumble, love his performance, love Bobby Heenan.
Most valuable promo after Royal Rumble of all time. Has anyone seen
tear in my
promo?
eye?
With a tear in my eye, put that cigarette out.
Jeremy, you got to do it. Do the Flair. Jeremy's got a good Flair. I hate to put him on the spot.
Oh, you're getting on the spot now, Jeremy.
With a tear in my eye. I can't do it because I'm living with people and I
love it. Wake everybody up, man.
It was great. It was already
that was
good.
Perfect. So Jeremy, here's what I'm going to ask you then. You never watched this Rumble.
Yeah.
But you know the hype of it.
Absolutely.
So does 100. The hype of it, like as someone who's never watched this Rumble, as a younger fan, does this hype is this like something that is like a big deal for you? Like do you respect the hype of this Rumble?
At 100%. And I probably would have agreed with. Probably would have. In fact, I do agree with you putting this on this spot, because as someone who hasn't watched it, who started watching wrestling like a good 20 years, not 20 years, like 15 years later. It's 20, been like a part of like wrestling mythos. It's one thing. It's one of the untouchable moments in wrestling lore. Flair going the distance from number 3 and putting in the performance that he did is like in a Royal Rumble match, probably one of the most star-studded Royal Rumble matches of all time. And yeah, I absolutely well deserved. I will say I watched the WrestleMania 8, just not the Rumble.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I don't know why. It honestly should be the other way around. I could get away with not watching WrestleMania 8, but without not watching this Rumble, that's like
this whole Royal Rumble pay-per-view though, the undercard is one of the worst Royal Rumble undercards of all time. Oh. It's terrible. It's like the opening match is the Orient Express against the New Foundation, which is Owen Hart and Jim Neidhart, and then it's the Beverly Brothers against the Bushwhackers with Jameson,
mm-hmm.
and then
Jameson,
Jameson is a beauty.
Who dug Jameson up? One of our fellow podcasts just interviewed Jameson like a few months ago, and I remember being
I think it was Jofo. Was it Jofo?
Yeah, it might have been Jofo. It was like with Jameson. I was like, what? Where'd you find this guy?
And then it was the Natural Disasters against LOD in a DQ finish. Like the undercard was awful to this pay-per-view. And then it's like the best Royal Rumble of all time. All tag matches. Terrible. I got to give a shout out to my first honorable mention. I swear to God, guys, I put consideration for an honorable for my number 7 spot. I put consideration for my number 7 spot to be Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan for greatest Royal Rumble performances of all time. These guys were so good on commentary. I almost did it. Like I went back and forth.
You could almost say they resemble Mind and Tyler Wolf.
Well, they're not that good because they don't look like a creepy pedophile like the picture that I put out there. But and you look like the magician.
I would retract that statement. Yes, the great Mind.
I showed our picture to my coworkers of the Miasma Citadel, and
Can we get it up? Can we at all get this picture on the board right here?
I don't know how to do that. Okay, you're putting me on the spot.
Yeah,
here,
you're
Jonah.
asking him too much here.
You know
Come
who
on.
I
We
am
barely
here?
edited episodes together. Come on.
It's gonna be a miracle if I even post this thing. Do I have to share screen? How do I do this?
Yeah, share screen.
All right, share screen. We're going screen. I'm sharing it. We're
Entering
going on
uncharted territory.
But is there anything there? Okay, well nice.
I can pull it up.
Okay,
right?
Pull it up.
YouTube, are we doing this on the fly, guys?
We're doing this right on the fly.
Am I doing this right?
I love Tyler's picture. Can we just all point out how nice that is?
Do you want to see this? This is SummerSlam. This is me and the wife. Look how beautiful she is, eh? SummerSlam.
Definitely.
I got blackout drunk here and called
sure?
bounce.
Was it right there?
No, it was a little during Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston. I blacked out. How do you spell miasma? I don't remember how to do this.
Miasma. I spelled it for the fans.
Oh, there it is. Miasma. Yeah, that was your gimmick, man. I couldn't even get the names right.
Look at this guy.
Here we go. Boys and girls.
Why do I not remember that picture of him right there? The first one. That was interesting.
Going? Where's the pedal?
Any of them. Click any of them.
We got to go
and
back.
Just go to the beginning. Yeah. Sorry, Counted Out fans. You're already like 2 hours in. You're watching this.
I think.
Wait, you missed it. You literally missed it. Oh, okay. Here we come. Here we come. Here we come.
There we go.
Oh, brother, that'll put some butts in seats. Look at that.
Look at this
picture. What did they do to Tyler? What did they do to him?
This is
one of the mind.
I showed this to people I worked with. They told me I was giving candy out from a van, and they said Jonah looked like a magician.
So accurate on both fronts.
That's
Jesus
it.
Christ.
That's it. That's the boys. That's the real commentary.
I can't look at that picture of Tyler without laughing. That is the
every time
I've ever seen.
I'll tell you what. I'm taking this off the screen. Every time we would go to record this, and I would be waiting for my cue because I'd have to start it, and I just look at Jonah giggling like a fucking asshole, and I knew what he was laughing at. It was me the whole time.
You can't not laugh at that.
Okay, I'm gonna do some honorable mentions real quick. Guys, before I do that, anyone want to jump in? Who should have been on the list that wasn't on the list?
I got an honorable mention.
Jeremy, what do you got? Should it have been on my list or?
This guy, maybe on the list. Actually, he is one of the few Iron Men one of the few people who went from number one and went on to win it all. Mr. McMahon, 1999.
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here.
I mean, come on, man.
Who invited this guy? Who invited this guy?
What an incredible, emotional, gritty performance that he put in that night. I mean,
he went to like an expensive ass dinner while he was gone. It was all right. Let's get back to the scrubs in the ring.
Damn it.
What do you think, Bruce? Will they like it?
Oh, don't get me started on Bruce.
Well, Vince, I think
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're the best. All right, I'm gonna run through my honorable mentions. The hardest one I had to leave off my list was Kane 2001.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, where the fuck was Kane? He's got to be on this list.
I'm shocked you didn't put Kane in.
It was between him and Bianca Belair, and
all right.
I had to give it to Bianca.
Bianca at Edge.
I had Bianca. So my big four were Bianca, Edge, because they were the same shit, different pile. You know what I mean? Like they did the exact same thing, the exact same Rumble. Yeah. Kane and I almost
from number two.
I almost took Shawn off. I almost took Shawn 95 off.
Yeah, I can
really.
See.
Yeah,
for Kane.
For Kane, yeah.
I probably
honestly, I would put Kane over Shawn.
That record lasted for 13 years, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's an impressive answer, and it was emphatic too. Like I remember growing up seeing that he set that record, and like every night, every year watching the Rumble, I would be watching it, and I'm like, is Kane gonna come out and do it again, but more so? Like it was mythical to me that he was able to do that. I thought that was the way that they made it. I loved it.
I do have the stats here. Entered number 6, 53 minutes 46 seconds. Eliminated 11 people. Raven, Al Snow, Saturn, Steve Blackman, Grandmaster Sexy, Honky Tonk Man, The Rock, Taz, Albert, Crash Holly, Scotty 2 Hotty with help from The Undertaker. And he was the runner-up to Steve Austin. That record lasted 13 years until Roman broke it in 2014.
Which I will say, as much hate as Roman gets, it was cool that he broke that. Although I think they count El Torito or whatever, which I don't know.
I'm telling you, Roman Reigns is going to go down as the greatest Royal Rumble performer of all time. But that's a different podcast for a different day. A couple other honorable mentions here. Shawn and Taker from 2007, their finishing sequence. My God. Fantastic. Fantastic. We talked about Shawn in 2010.
Yeah.
As well. We talked about that. Well, we're giving love to Shawn. Roman in 2014, 33 minutes, eliminating 12 people, breaking the record. Edge, 58 minutes, eliminating 3 people into 2021. Those were my big honorable mentions. I don't have much more to say about it. What do you think, guys? Did I do all right here? Did I do good in the Rumble?
I like the list a lot. Of course, there are some things I would change around because I haven't seen a lot. Obviously I think Kane was definitely a big miss from this list. I would put him somewhere in the middle of this list, honestly. There are some things I would change around, putting Benoit a little higher. I think your 1 and 2 you had nailed. Honestly, another honorable mention, since you mentioned Shawn and Taker, and it's cheating because it's 6 guys, but the last 6 guys from the 2018 Rumble, I would definitely put up there. Fucking one of the best Rumble sequences I've ever seen.
Was that when it was like old and new, or it was like
yes, that was our childhood versus what these people today call good.
Yeah, that was your childhood versus my late 20s. Damn.
No, definitely I would put them up there. I'm trying to think if there's anyone. I mean, maybe Sasha, she's another one that went the distance, but
Natty was up there too.
Are we not going to mention when Taker, Lesnar, and Goldberg came out one after the other?
No, we're not going to mention that one.
I mean, you could go a deep cut with Bob Backlund, 93. He went almost an hour, but he spent a bunch of time outside. Like, I don't know.
That's you want to talk about a Rumble? I definitely didn't watch.
Don't watch 93. It's awful.
Jeremy, you don't know the Bob Backlund performance? What are you talking about?
Come on, Jeremy. God, Bob Backlund in 93. Jesus. Went on to fight Razor Ramon at WrestleMania. God.
How about Jerry Lawler?
Which one? When he hit under the ring?
Hiding his ass. Yeah.
96. Great spot. 97. And we talked about this, Anthony, when he was commentating and Brett had Austin, the sharpshooter. And then the buzzer goes off. Lawler's music hits. He's like, "Hey, McMahon, it takes a king." Takes the headphones off, gets in the ring. Brett punches him out. It's like,
to Noah King.
And he comes back. He's like, to Noah King. He's all fucking pouty. That was a great run.
I guess the closest thing to that from my generation would be Booker T getting into the Rumble, Jerry Lawler getting into the Rumble, and then finally Michael Cole.
That was good. I sucked, but I liked it.
Good is a wrong word, but it was interesting. That's for sure.
I hated it.
It took up 3 spots.
There was like 4 years where the Rumble was really bad, and that was like the peak of it. So, well, gentlemen, I cannot thank you enough for coming on the list tonight. And Anthony, you're a returning guest and you're the Classic Match Classroom, but plug the Titantron, plug the Classroom, hit us with all the spots.
Of course. Well, first of all, thank you for letting me be the run-in. I'm sure I did not win from the number 30 spot, but I'll take a runner-up spot for sure. But if you want to hear more of my voice, which I don't know why you would, you can definitely follow me on the Titantron. I'm not really doing anything with the Titantron right now, but at the Titantron Podcast on Instagram for more updates. You can actually hear me on the Turnbuckle Tavern. We're doing some great work over there. You can find you just type in Turnbuckle Tavern and it'll pop up wherever you look for it. I am the host of the Raw Down, which talks about all things WWE. We debate what's better, Raw versus SmackDown on that week. And of course, you can listen to myself, the Prodigy, and the Professor over at the Classic Match Classroom, where we discuss all historical wrestling things that Tyler's seen and I haven't. You can follow us for updates We just posted our first match back, Cactus Jack versus Triple H. We have another episode coming to you every Sunday. You can follow us at Classic Match Classroom on Instagram, at CM Classroom on Twitter, not to be confused with CM Punk. And subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Pods, Anchor, fucking anywhere you can find podcasts. We're great. We're all great. Listen to us all.
Yeah. Jeremy, you want to plug anything? Plug Jeremy is awesome.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you want to plug anything? No, the other Jeremy.
Yeah, so I don't really have much going on. If you want, you can follow me on YouTube at Your Friendly Neighborhood Smark. I do not have any content on there. I may have some on the future.
It's the thought that counts.
I may have some in like 6 months. I may not. Follow me anyway. Give me an ego boost.
You know, you guys will see Jeremy in a couple months on countedout7.com. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Jonah.
There's contract disputes. I'm sending my legal team, but
Jonah, I'm gonna ask you, do you remember all your plugs? Like
I was about to say, it's been a long time. Listen, we take rising stars, but
Oh shit.
I think you should definitely check me out. Rewind, Recap, Relive. We still average like 2,000 views every day, so somebody's watching us. Our videos, they're fun videos. Check them out. There were some really good times, and they will be going forward. We're not retired, although it's ironic that Anthony's not really doing anything with the Titantron. Jeremy has yet to post, and I'm on a break as well. It's like, I don't know what Tyler does, but his budget's pretty low for who he gets on a show. I think he gets inactive members of the podcast sphere. But yeah, Rewind, Recap, Relive on everything, and I think you're gonna like it. R3 Jonah on Twitter. Don't post there either, but hey, you can see what I like, and I think my opinions are pretty good. My opinions are better than yours. No, but
Nice.
Hey, follow me.
Yeah,
Check it out.
Jonah hasn't done an episode in 8 months and still does way better numbers than we do posted weekly.
Absolutely.
So go check out his shit, okay? And
He's like the WWE. He runs off nostalgia.
I just run up the tux, and that's all it takes.
That's it. He hits the tux. We actually do a nostalgia countdown show every week, and Jonah still outdraws us by about 1 billion viewers a week. But Jonah is fucking awesome, man. I'm happy to have all of you on here. Thank
please
you.
wait. Let me finish just 1 second, Tyler.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I gotta say, you did your research for this, like legit. Thank you for me and all the other guys here, and everyone you always have on. This was awesome. I always think Count It Out is like, I always put it as number one on my list. I was just re-listening to the Bill Apter interview the other day, by the way. That was good. I heard Bill Apter say Mike looks like Seth Rollins. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts of the interview. And we always plug Bill because we love Uncle Bill, and hopefully we can get him back in. I'm not going to say the spoiler, but 2-year show. I'm going to say the spoiler. We're working on it, guys. We're working on it. Thank you, everybody. Jonah, you have a job to make Jeremy watch the Royal Rumble 1992. We will get a follow-up on a YouTube exclusive for either one of our channels. I don't give a shit. Anthony, I'll see you every Sunday at the classroom. Sean and Marty is this Sunday. Check it out. And then I'm going to invite you guys to a special party in a White Castle, and you can find that out later. But as Mike would always say, on behalf of Jonah, Jeremy, Anthony, and Ric Flair and Bobby Heenan, woo, be flare to flare with a tear in my eye. You have been counted out.